Hey there, everybody. This is Josh. It's Tuxedo Talk. I got a little bit of a drive, and I just had a thought that I wanted to ask the world. And I'm sure it's something that's probably been done to death already. But I want to talk about it, so that's a good enough reason. And that is that I don't understand why it's socially acceptable for someone to hit or spank, use physical violence, pain, or the threat of it on their kids to get them to do what they want, but it's not okay to do that to your spouse. I don't get why that's a thing. Like, they'll sit there and say it to you like that's the way that you like have discipline, or they gotta learn, or how else are you gonna get your kids to do what you want. But I just don't get why it's completely acceptable. Like even people who say like, I don't spank my kids or things like that, like they aren't gonna sit here and say like it's, at least not many I've seen, say that it's like wrong on the same level as hitting your spouse. And I don't understand why, because to me, your spouse, maybe they made a bad decision choosing you, but they at least they made the choice. Your kid didn't pick you. You want to call it God, fate, luck, like they just were dropped in on you and they didn't pick you. Your spouse did. And told over and over again, especially with women, how it's very difficult for them to leave an abusive relationship. And well, I do agree with that. There are quite a number of women that are in abusive relationships that trying to get out of that thing's a friggin' long road to friggin' hoe. And I certainly don't envy them, and I have utmost empathy for them on it. But it's nothing compared to like a kid trying to get out of an abusive relationship. Like, they can't. I mean, the most they can do is try and tell some authority figure and then hope that follows through, and then hope that when they're taken out of that situation, they're not put in an even worse one, or that they won't just find their asses back in there. And that's if they even have the ability to comprehend that, which vast majority of young kids don't. So it's just weird to me that in this world we live in, it's seen as your choice on whether or not you want to hit somebody who's got a developing brain, doesn't know any better, and is in the process of learning, didn't pick you, and can't leave. So I'm a dad, and this isn't even me saying that I've never, ever not spanked my kids, because I have, or gotten mad or yelled at them, because I have. And I look at it as, like, with me, like, what I did wasn't okay, and I'll be the first to say, like, I was wrong. But it's weird to me that they're, like, the vast majority of the population is just like, yeah, that's fine. And there's also like another segment of people who are like, yeah, you need to hit them. And it's always that if you don't hit your kids, you're not teaching them discipline. And frankly, I can't think of a less disciplined thing for you to do than hitting somebody because they did something you don't like. That seems like the most undisciplined thing I can think of for a behavior. I want to teach, especially somebody with a developing brain, something, I'm going to model it first, and then have a standard I expect from them. So it's just a little food for thought of why it's never okay to hit our spouses, but it's your call if you want to hit your kid. It's just weird to me.